Hey, Fub Stars, got another automated agent accountability video for you. In the last video, we went over 10 days of pain for when a lead first comes in. In this one, we're going over automated agent accountability for the hot stage. We can automate agent accountability until an agreement is signed. What we show here today in the hot stage can also be used in the warm or nurture stage, or whatever stages you use up until an agent gets assigned agreement. So what we're going to go over in this video are some action plans in Follow Boss, some automation in Follow Boss, and then some automation in InterFace that ties it all together. To set the stage, this would play out in the real world is, a new lead comes in, they're called, every day for the first 10 days. Once the agent reaches that person, if the lead is planning on making a move in the next 90 days or so, they would move it into the hot stage. And by moving it into the hot stage, that would kick off this process. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to clarify how this process works, once a lead gets moved into the hot stage, it will give them 10 days to call, text, or email. If they don't call, text, or email within 10 days, it will automatically move the lead into a money pond for other agents to have access to. If they do call, text, or email, it will restart the process and give them another 10 days. This hot stage is typically for leads that are in a 7-day smart list. In Follow Boss, typically the smart lists, whether you call, text, or email, will drop them off the list for 7 days and then put them back on the list, letting the agent know to call. If you're using our dynamic smart lists, we dynamically schedule the next time a lead appears on the list. We can set up this automated agent accountability to dynamically schedule when the lead would move into a pond. If it's a call that lasts less than 2 minutes and we're dropping the lead off for 2 days, then we could have the automated agent accountability move them into a pond after 5 days instead of 10. For this video, we're just going to do 10 days for call, text, or email. Let's jump in here. The first action plan we're taking a look at is the recurring action plan. This one is set to apply a tag after 10 days. This tag will trigger automation in Follow Boss to move the lead into a money pond. This is the action plan that will get paused and then restarted again when sales activity happens. The other action plan we need is the action plan that pauses the other action plan. This action plan will pause the recurring action plan and then apply a note which will trigger InterFace automation to restart the action plan again. The reason we're doing it this way is because you can't use Follow Boss to pause and restart action plans with a tag. The only way you can restart an action plan in Follow Boss automation is if the action plan has completed, but we're going to be pausing the action plan midway through and then restarting it, so we need to do it this way. Now we're going to take a look at automation in Follow Boss. The first automation we're going to take a look at is the automation that kicks off this process. So the trigger is when the lead is moved into the hot stage. It is going to start the recurring action plan. The next automation that we need to utilize is the automation that moves the lead into a pond. So when the tag is applied to move it into a pond, we're going to check to make sure the lead is in the hot stage. If it's in the hot stage, then we are going to reassign the lead to a money pond. All right, next we're going to take a look at interface automation. So coming in here, we have 4 different automations set up. The first one is the automation triggered by the note. So like I mentioned earlier, Follow Boss cannot pause and then restart an action plan. So what we're going to do is use our note trigger that is triggered when the note is applied from the action plan I showed earlier. The note is the trigger. Then we're going to filter by checking to see if the note body is restart hot stage AAA action plan. If that's the body of the note, then the automation will continue. And then the action will be to trigger the hot stage recurring action plan. Now we're going to take a look at the call automation. We'll only look at the call one because all 3 of these, call, text, email, are the same. So this one is triggered when a call happens. Now we're going to filter to make sure the stage is the hot stage. And if it's the hot stage, then we're going to trigger the pause and restart recurring action plan in Follow Boss. Each of the sales activity automations in InterFace do this exact same thing. So we don't need to go through these other 2. Okay, now we've gone through and seen how everything was set up. So we're going to go ahead and demo this. All right, we're in Follow Boss lead record. Let's say we finally spoke to Tony and he let us know that he's moving in the next 60 days. So we're going to update the stage to the hot stage. Now updating the stage to the hot stage is going to trigger the recurring action plan. So now the 10-day countdown has begun. The agent has 10 days to call, text, email, or the lead will automatically be moved into the money pond. So now let's say it's the next day or several days later, we need to follow up with Tony again. We followed up and spoke to Tony. Log call. So now logging the call is going to add the note to restart the action plan. So the old one was paused and a new one was started, giving another 10 days for them to call, text, or email or lose the lead. So we can do this all the way until an agreement is signed. Once an agreement is signed, it doesn't make a lot of sense to move leads into the money pond, but up until an agreement is signed, we can entirely automate the agent accountability process. So if leads aren't followed up the way you want them to, they'll get moved into a money pond so that other agents can do the follow-up that is required. So that is our hot stage automated agent accountability process. If anybody has any feedback, questions, or concerns, I'd love to hear it. Thank you.